mama's favorite podcast and the number one unknown podcast in the world. What's going on, man?
What's going on, baby? Back at it again. I just got offset yesterday. 3 podcasts recorded. Yeah, it's that good old work podcast. I must do so good on here, and I'm so famous on social media that I've become the dedicated person to host it.
Speaking of you being famous on social media,
oh God,
I've actually been thinking about this a lot this week. I think you're leaving a lot on the table right now. You sent this shirtless picture to us the other day, bro, and I was like, this dude is leaving a lot of followers on the table. Dude. If you posted shirtless content multiple times, I'll even say a month, dude, I think you'd start to get a fitness. That's like what people actually want to see.
Yeah.
And by people, I mean me.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. And it's just another reason why consistency in the small habits compound. In the beginning of the year, I started weighing myself for the first time in probably 2 years. And I weighed myself at the end of December. I was 170, I think it was 173 or 176 pounds. I can't remember. And now I'm like 162 consistently. And this full body that I've been on.
I'm so happy I already asked you about this before you sent that photo. That I already said I wanted to go full body.
Yeah. This full body program I'm on, dude, it is so different. I love it. And it just like, the way it hits is just so wild because like I'm used to, you know, the normal splits, chest and tries, back and buys, legs, chest and tries, back and buys. And you kind of overexert those muscles. And the next day you're like, God, I'm so freaking sore. Mm-hmm. But like, bro, I don't lift heavy at all. At all. And the results that I am seeing is insane. And it is solely from the little bit of discipline of eliminating this out of my life, eliminating this out of my life, adding more of this, focusing on protein, eating the carbs. Everybody's scared of carbs. You can eat those. You can see the results with it. But it's just wild because everything that I've been playing around with for the last 4 years and just experimenting with, it's like full circle moment coming together about why just the little drops in the bucket play the biggest results.
But you definitely don't need to lift heavy. Aesthetically, I'd probably argue don't lift heavy anyways. But dude, I'm telling you, I saw this. I was like, I cannot wait to not be running this much. Because I know I'm leaving gains on the table by running an ungodly amount.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to not be running this much.
It's a good life. I need to be running more.
I bet. But yeah, but like not a lot more. Like you could. What do you think? What do you run a week? Like 6 miles?
If that, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think I'll ever get that low.
Yeah.
I don't think I can physically allow myself. But I'd like to be in like a 35 range. That's still a lot.
Yeah. That is a lot. But yeah, it's, you guys, just freaking please. If you have any desire to just go after physical fitness, if you have any desire to feel better mentally, if you have any desire to look better in the mirror, whatever it is, dude, reach out to us. But the thing is, and
dude, I'm telling you, if you post a photo, a lot of people are going to reach out to you.
Well, what I was thinking too is like, if this keeps going, because bro, my shoulders are bigger than they've ever been. Like that picture didn't even do it justice when I'm working out. It's crazy. Like I see like the balls on the top of my shoulder. I see my traps coming in. My chest has the line down the middle that I've always wanted. Like I saw a picture of last year me versus this year me at this time, and it is insane the difference. Mm-hmm. And so it's just, I want to extend this offer so bad to every single person that I know.
Just do it.
But the offer that you extend to people that you know goes absolutely nowhere. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, I know this person, so if I don't go, it is what it is. Like, I don't have to go because, oh, Freddie's coaching me. But if people would just change their mindset and buy into it, like so many of my close friends, hey, can you send me a program, bro? Yeah, I'll send it to you. I see the results that I'm getting. I see the results that some of our clients are getting. They'll do it for maybe a month. And they'll be like, all right, bro, I'm good. You can take me out of the platform. Like, I know what I'm doing now. And I'm like, no, you fucking don't.
You still
just
fat, bro.
Just stick with it. And so, yeah, it's just really cool. And it kind of like stems into like one of the conversations that I wanted to get into because we preach all the time about like habits and instilling things in your life. And with one of those things, one of my habits is steps. And I get so hyper fixated and focused on the steps. And then at one point when I got my new Garmin, I was focusing on the sleep. And then now I'm focusing on the scale again. And then I'm focusing on body fat and all these different metrics. And so I wanted to ask you, because I sent you a couple topics for this week, and I wanted to ask you what your thoughts are on all of this data that's being collected. So in my life, I can track a bunch of things now because of the resources that are out there technology-wise, but I also see data being collected in my 9-to-5 job. And so I question, what are people doing with this data, and why is data so important to see? And so one, I wanted to ask you if you think that there's an overload of data in the health and wellness space. And two, do you think that there's an overload in data in this world because people don't know how to utilize it to operate more efficiently, or how people in your mind interpret data and use it to its advantages or disadvantages?
I think that I'm going to start specifically with health and wellness space. It's not necessarily that there's an overload of data. It's that I don't think that the average person needs that much data. I think that like athletes, and like I use athletes loosely. I don't mean like a professional athlete. Like even myself, I feel like there's a need for a lot of that data. Like for a training block. Do I think that next month I'm going to need that much data? No. But I think like if you have a goal, it's good to track it. Where I think that it becomes a problem is when you're, like you just said, you're fixated on steps 1 month, then the next month you're fixated on your sleep, then the next month you're fixated on the scale. And if you're looking at all these things one thing at a time and not as a holistic view, then like you're just going down a rabbit hole of like, I just need to improve this. And for a lot of people, it could be like at the detriment of the other things. So it's like, I care about my weight dropping, but I don't care about all this other stuff right now. And we talk about this all the time, where it's like, it's not necessarily the number on the scale. There's a lot of other factors at play. And so I do think that there's a lot of data points being brought in right now.
Yeah.
And I have had to battle myself to not get a Whoop so many times, bro. And like, that is literally just a data tracker. Like it's not a watch. It doesn't do anything for you. You literally just wear this little band on your wrist and it gives you data to your phone. And I've had to be like, do I actually need this? And I don't. I know that I don't. But I want it. Because I just want to know where I'm at.
Yeah, it's like you start doing the steps, you start doing the sleep, you start doing the scale, and it's like it compounds on each other. So like it's not only focusing on steps in January, then focusing on sleep in February. Like it's like, okay, I'm focusing on my steps. All right, I got that. Now I'm going to start tracking my sleep. Now I'm tracking sleep and steps. Now I'm going to start tracking my weight, my BMI, my calories, my this, my that, my food, whatever. And so I got to the mindset a while ago, but it's just coming to fruition now of like, I want this data to guide me, but I don't want it to control me.
If you know me, then you know I love a good beer, but I also like waking up early to train. That's where Athletic Brewing Company comes into play. Athletic makes award-winning, non-alcoholic craft beer that tastes like the real thing because it is the real thing, just without the alcohol. These are for people who train hard, who chase goals, who live active, but still appreciate cracking open something cold at the end of the day. And here's what we love most. Choosing Athletic isn't about removing something. It's about keeping everything that matters. Flavor, ritual, social moments, and still being able to perform tomorrow. So if you want a beer that fits your lifestyle instead of fighting against it, hit up Athletic Brewing Co. and use code Dylan20 for 20% off your first order. Back to the show.
Quick pause to shout out one of the brands we've been repping lately, Optic Nerve. If you spend time running, grinding outside, or just living life in motion, these are the kind of shades that work. Optic Nerve has been around for over 4 decades, building sunglasses that blend real performance and clean style. The polarized lenses deliver 100% UV protection, cut glare, and keep your vision sharp, whether you are hitting a morning run, midday errands, or winding down after. We use this because for us, it's not just about looking good. It's about practicality and comfort. So if you're tired of cheap shades that don't hold up, hit up Optic Nerve. Go to opticnerve.com and grab you a pair today. Use code DTI at checkout and you'll get 20% off. Back to the show. And I think that's been the biggest unlock. So when I first got this Garmin watch, dude, I didn't take it off for like probably 6 months, focusing on sleep, this and that. And then I was like, why am I tracking my sleep? Because despite what the score says, I still go about my day. I still like live my life. But I think that on the other hand, if you aren't aware of like how you're feeling, you'll see that recovery score say 27 and you'll be like, oh, I got to rest today because I got a 27 score. When realistically, if you would have never seen that score, you probably would have felt fine.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I take all of these different things, I'm trying to realize what's important and then become disconnected with everything else. And so it's like social media. Do I sit there and scroll all day long? No. Do I know that I scroll more than I should? Yes. But how do I start eliminating stuff to just be like, okay, this is what it is. I don't need to put so much fucking pressure on it. So that way I can keep going in the right direction. And so through that, and I think there's importance in this, and this is where I think it'll tie it together of where I think the data is needed. But like back in the day, we talk so much about like, how do people not understand macros? Back in the day, I would have never known those if I didn't track my food. If I didn't visually see, okay, this is what 23 grams of chicken looks like, put it into MyFitnessPal, track. Now I can eyeball and be like, all right, this is probably how much protein I'm getting in a meal. I'm good to go. And so then I eliminated that factor where I don't put the stress on like, I have to hit this exact number. Because at the end of the day, we're not stepping on stage. We are not getting on stage to compete in a bodybuilding show. We are simply trying to live a healthier, happier lifestyle. And I don't think that you can get that happier part if you're constantly ingrained in all of this data.
Dude, I used to freak out if I was like 2 calories over.
Yes.
2 calories.
And I'm like, it's so unhealthy. And I think that's what scares most people is that they think they have to be that dialed in. They think that they have to be that driven to be like, I have to do this perfect. Guess what? If I don't hit 10,000 steps in a day now, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Pussy.
You're on a different level. But I
try.
try.
If I don't hit 20,000.
I try to hit those and I always hit them. But again, there's going to be days where it's like, oh, it didn't happen today. I've been on the road for 10 hours. And so while it's important in the beginning, I think that there is an overflow of data right now that people are just collecting to collect, and they're letting that stop them or hinder them from the success. And so one big thing is with the scale. There are some days where I wake up and I'm like, I'm not stepping on that scale today. This morning that we are recording was one of those days. I was like, I feel overweight. Like, I don't know what it is. My body just did not feel good. I looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel this morning. Stepped on the scale. I'm fucking lower than I was yesterday. And so what I want to do with this is also look at the trends on the scale to see where I start in the beginning of the month, where I finish at the end of the month to tell the full story. Because again, if you're only looking at the data when it feels good to you, I think it can be discouraging because it's not showing you the full picture. And so that's where that consistency and discipline that we talk about all the time comes into a factor, because it isn't day-to-day progress. That's not how health and wellness works. That's not how your mental health works. That's not how relationships work. You got to look at holistically, who am I? How am I? What am I as a person? And then take that full scale and bring it back and then adjust and tailor from there. But if we're constantly looking at each and every single day and what that data is showing, I don't think that we'll ever be able to unlock the true capabilities and potential to see the results we want, like that fucking picture I sent you.
I don't weigh myself every day because I know how I am, and I'll get in my head about it. Like if I'm down like a half a pound and then the next day I'm up 0.3, I'm like, oh fuck. Like I know how I am. I'm gonna get hyper fixated on that, and I don't think that any of these metrics are like true representations. Weight is probably the closest because like your weight is the same no matter what scale you get on. Like you're always gonna weigh the same. But also, like, there is other factors at play. Like, how much water are you retaining? If you're a girl, are you on your period? Like, there's a lot of things that can just fluctuate.
Did you have more salt that day?
Like, yeah. Like, without even actually changing anything. But, like, sleep, dude, I don't get a sleep score. Like, you just said, like, oh, your sleep score is 27. Mine doesn't give me a score. Mine has, like, categories. And it's, like, fair, good, great, or low. So, it just has 4 categories of, like today. Great. It says great. And it's basically just like based off of like the I can't even think what it's called. Like the levels of sleep that you're in, like REM, light,
Yep.
whatever. I didn't even know what the actual term is. But like, so it goes based off that, and it like shows my awake time. That's the main reason I track it, is because I want to know like how much was I actually awake, like how much time did I actually sleep, not just was I in bed. And your boy was asleep by 9:09 last night.
Hell yeah, baby.
But 7 hours 25 minutes, and that's consistent as fuck because my 7-day average is 7 hours 21 minutes.
Love that.
So like that's all I really care about. But like, if I look at that and I compare it to yours says a sleep score. And like, what is actually like a true representation of quality sleep? Garmin tracks different than Coros, tracks different than Apple, and like Whoop is different. Like, there's all these different brands who are tracking things based off of different metrics. So how do I actually know what's right and what's not? The only way to really tell is to listen to your body, because there's when mine says low, I feel low, dude. And I try not to look. I haven't looked at this today because I didn't want to know. I specifically make myself not look at it because I want to see how do I feel. And today I felt good.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to feel good because I went to bed so early. 3 days in a row, I've been in bed before 9 o'clock.
It's amazing.
And last night I was like, is it too early to get in bed? She's like, no, I love it. I'm like, this is what I needed.
This is why I'm marrying you.
I finally got her on board, dude. We're in bed early as shit. Like, we're going right now. We've only got 10 days, 75 hard left. Let's hope it continues.
Yeah. What do you like? You said that you see how much sleep you've got. Like, why do you look at that?
I only do like if I feel like trash.
Okay.
If I feel like shit, like if I feel tired, I want to see, is it low or is this? And every time I feel like shit, it's actually low. And it's like just my awake time in the night is higher. So it's like I just had more interruptions throughout the night.
You probably see drastic changes in the behavior of sleep from eating like shit and drinking
100%
versus 75 hard mindset.
100%. But yeah, like that's why I don't look at it when I wake up, because I don't want to know. I don't want it to dictate the way that I feel.
Yeah.
I want to see how I feel, and then I'll look at it. Like today, I probably wouldn't have ever looked at it if we didn't talk about sleep on here. I just want to see like where am I at, and because it tracks so differently, which is like, why do we not just have one metric of what quality sleep is?
Yeah. And if you're only looking, like if somebody is only looking at sleep data and it's great, but they're not working out, they're not doing all these other things, then are they really living like a healthy lifestyle? Could they be feeling better? Could they be like, I wonder too, is this data based off of your averages, or is it based off of like an industry average of what is deemed good or long enough? Or
mine has like, it'll say like what a good range should be. So
okay.
I think it's just like the average overall. And like it shows basically like, of course it's not going to load. But like it shows like this amount of time, this amount of time is low. This amount of time is regular.
Yeah.
And like then it bases it off of like the average of those four together, the actual quality of sleep.
Okay. Yeah, I think the overall thing is just like how do I, it's almost like not trying to be perfect with the data, but be consistent with the habits and things that you have in place, because then the data should in turn show the good results. And but yeah, I think it's critical in the beginning to have like a step counter to, I think that's it. I really think that's it.
The only two things I think you actually need to start is your steps. And I think like if you don't have any idea what you're taking in calorically, you should spend a week tracking, and like don't try to change your diet. Like don't go and say I'm going to diet and now I'm going to track. Like track your regular food. See what you eat on a regular basis that's got you to this point that makes you want to change in the first place, and then just rein it in from there. Cuz that's the problem I see, is that people will be like, "Oh, I'm going to track." And then they get crash diet for a week. And I'm like, that's not a representation of what got you here.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea what you're actually consuming now, because you're trying to game the system. When we all know that you didn't eat like this to get your fat ass here.
Yeah. Yeah, when we bring on new people and we tell them like we're going to look at food so that way we know what that calorie intake is, how you're getting protein, all that different stuff. It's like, do not change any behaviors for a week, because we're putting a focus on it. Like we need a real picture of what a week looks like for you at a minimum. Granted, if you have more than that, great. But so many people, they're like, oh, they're going to look into my food. I got to eat healthier. I got to this. And if you change those behaviors for that week to set what the baseline is, then it's already skewed. It's already off. And so you can never build on top of that because you're already trying to work the system, infiltrate different things, whatever it is. But yeah, I think there is an importance in it, but I think there's so much of an overload. The one data point I love getting is when they say that my age has decreased. I'm now 27 and a half years old.
For real?
Yeah.
I'm my age.
Are you?
Yeah. Metabolically?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm still my age.
27 and a half, baby.
I don't think mine dropped yesterday. Now I want to see. But yesterday was the first time I weighed myself in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I love getting those notifications. It's like your fitness age has dropped.
Oh, it's not my fitness age. Maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. My weight or my scale just says my metabolic age, which I don't know what that necessarily means. Which is another what does that mean? Why am I looking this up? Why do I care? I don't think the average person needs 90% of these things.
No. Maybe we come out with a simple tracker.
Of what? Just a scale with nothing else? Just weight?
No, just a wristband that tracks steps like back in the day. You could put that one thing on your shoe or whatever.
A pedometer?
Yeah.
Well, they had Fitbits for a while. Nike had that little fucking fuel band. You ever seen those?
No.
I had one. It was for running, like before running watches were a thing. It would do running, but like it wouldn't really show you anything on it until your run was done. And it's like this many steps, this many calories. It's just like a band that went around your arm.
Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see that Bryan Johnson, the biohacker.
I got a lot of problems with this guy. Yo, before we get into Bryan Johnson, this is an actual question I have.
Okay.
How does Theo Von go from Bryan Johnson to this little fucking racist Asian kid, bro? How do you jump from one to the other?
Dude, did you watch that interview with Ray?
No, all I fucking have my feed right now is clips talking about Ching Chong.
He's like, yeah, this my uncle, Theo Von.
I'm like, good Lord, dude. Like, how do you go from politicians, Bryan Johnson, this guy?
Do you know anything about Ray?
No, he's a streamer, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, he's a big streamer. He's fucking hilarious. I don't watch his stuff, but him on Theo Von was comical.
Yeah, I honestly might watch it now. I usually, like, if I don't really, like, if I don't know the person, kind of, I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time watching this because I need to create more than I consume.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll swipe it off. But after these clips, I might listen to it on a run.
You should. It's hilarious.
Yeah. But Bryan Johnson, this is, I'll let you speak on him first.
Okay. Theo Von, his guest, I think that's what makes him so special because he can just entertain and talk to fucking anybody. And you never know if half the stuff that he's saying is true or false about his life or whatever he's talking about, which makes it great. But yeah, since he also just had Bryan Johnson on, this goes into it as well. If you care about putting in work, whether it is crushing workouts, staying sharp during long days, or just doing right by your body, First Form gets it. First Form isn't about the hype. They build on quality, stand by service, and measure everything by real-world results. Their lineup covers it all. Top-tier protein powders, clean pre-workouts, vitamins, green support, and energy drinks. Even apparel for lifestyle. My go-to, their flagship protein and their clean energy drink. Perfect for after a tough session or to get dialed in for a long day. The energy drink drops 200 milligrams of natural caffeine from green tea, has zero sugar, electrolytes, and nootropics for focus, all without the crash of traditional energy drinks. So if you're done settling for mediocre supplements, if you want stuff that's built on intention, integrity, and performance in mind, check out First Form. Head over to firstform.com/DTI to browse their full stack and see what fits your goals. All right, let's get back to the show.
If you care about staying sharp, energized, and ready to perform, Ketone IQ might be for you. Ketone IQ delivers clean, stable energy without a crash. Unlike caffeine-heavy picks, Ketone IQ uses exogenous ketones that raise your levels, giving your body and brain a different kind of fuel. What that means for you is sharper focus on early morning runs, better mental clarity when you're working or grinding through long days, and sustained energy without the jitters or sugar crash. If you want to try it out, Head over to KetoneIQ.com and use code Dylan30 at checkout. You'll get 30% off your order. Back to the show.
But Bryan Johnson, I think, just opened up 3 spots in his biohacking world of never die. And
is that his brand?
Don't die.
Okay.
Yeah. And he opened up 3 spots. Guess how much it is for one of the spots?
It's got to be 6 figures. Oh, it actually has to be more because I'm assuming it's like everything included.
I don't know what it entails, but it is $1 million.
Holy shit.
To get started on this program. I'm like, we got to up our price, bro.
I don't know that I'd ever pay $1 million for that.
It
seems like a horrible way to live, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And it's almost like, so he brought up a really cool point on that podcast. He said that back in 1832 or something like that.
When he was born?
No. That would be wild.
He's just been good. Don't die. 1832 to 2026, bro.
Theo Von's like, dude, you're actually a pretty normal guy. And he's like, well, what did you expect me to be like? He's like, I don't know. I expected you to be like AI or a robot
me too,
or something.
100% like an alien or some shit. Like he's not from this world.
Yeah. And so he said that this guy back in like the 1800s, early 1800s, would go around their town. And he said that there's little things called bacteria. And to us, it sounds weird right now because this is true.
Yeah, I was like, is this something groundbreaking? But I guess I had to put myself back in the mind of a young Bryan Johnson.
But he said that back then, this guy would go around his town and he was like, there's these little micro particles in this world that make us sick, that give us diseases, blah, blah, blah. And they're known as bacteria, or he called them bacteria. He's like, but you can't see them with the human eye because they're so small. And everybody was like, you're insane. You're insane. Years, centuries later, that's the common status. Everybody knows about fucking these little microparticles that are bacteria that get us sick and everything. And so that guy actually wasn't crazy, but during that time he was deemed crazy. So Bryan Johnson says, he goes, I am also that person of this time where I am testing the status quo.
It's a bold claim.
And he goes, I say don't die. And he goes, and I say that we're going to live until the end of life or something like that. But he's like, but what is that? He goes, say people live till 70 years old. He goes, but what if living to 125, 150, 175 could be the new normal? He goes, now that's not the end of time, or we don't know if that'll be the end of time, but that is defying the odds of what is going on right now. And so he asked Theo the question, he goes, to what extent would you trade the value of time for? Meaning, if you did the things that he did and you followed his regimen because you knew that you would live to 150, does it become that crazy what he's doing? Or would you keep continuing to live the lifestyle, eating fast food, drinking, not exercising, to live till 75, 80 years old?
I get it. But like, if everyone I love isn't also doing these things to live to 150, do I want to be the only person that I know who exists at that time? Like, if everyone I know has now been dead for 50 years, my grandkids are dead. Like, for real, like, generations of people have passed away after me because not everyone wants to follow this strict protocol. I'm just here sad. I'm 175 years old, depressed as fuck, lonely. I don't know that I'd want to live by myself.
Yeah, but what if you could have kids at like 100 now? And like your grandkids would adapt this because, again, it's so far down the road that maybe it becomes a status quo for them and it comes stuff that's more readily available. The stuff he's doing right now.
By the time I hit 100, I don't know that I want to raise a kid.
But again, like, think in the mindset.
I mean, I guess if I have 75 more years to go.
Right? So then what does life look like at that point? And
but it's $1 million per person.
It is. But the concept of it is, what would you be willing to do? So if you were able to, would you live that lifestyle so that way you could potentially live till 150, 175 years old, knowing that life is not going to look anything what it looks like right now? Like, think of all of the shit that's happened in our life, and then at our parents and our grandparents, how much the world has changed. Bro, they didn't have fucking colored TV. They didn't have TV. They didn't have phones. They didn't have fucking ChatGPT. Like, just think in that 100 years how much life has changed.
Yeah, but like those things aren't health related. So like when I think about things that are health related, I feel like it's gotten worse. Like they're processing more foods. They're lying to us about other shit. They're pushing whatever narrative they want. So like the health side of it isn't getting any better.
So if Bryan Johnson's remedies and lifestyle was able to produce more time on this earth, you would opt to not do it because you wouldn't want to be depressed and lonely by yourself,
I don't know.
not realizing what could change in that time.
I would have to like at least have one other person do it with me. Like I'd have to have one other person commit to this lifestyle with me.
Dude, I would jump in with you. I would jump in.
Let the girls die.
No, because it's all stems from there's a pioneer of everything.
We're at season 142 of the Desire to Inspire podcast.
Still getting 23 views. I just think it's fascinating to think that way. It's the same thing with AI. Like I was talking to my boss about AI, and currently we're implementing new training programs and stuff into our company. And I was talking to him where it's like, instead of hiring a consultant or instead of hiring a person to build out a training program, do you think that AI will be able to formulate this training program for a company? And I'm talking like in depth where they know the company. It's not like surface level training type stuff. And he was like, no, because you still need the human interaction to bounce ideas off of and know like the deep understanding of this and that and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, and plus there's no like interaction with like a human-esque person. It's just like you type things in. And I was like, yeah, but what if one day that AI bot is on the TV and you're having back and forth conversations with it? He's like, yeah, but it doesn't get like deep down in the weeds. It's not like granular enough. It's just surface level things. And I was like, think of where AI is at right now and where it can lead to. Bro, there might be an AI bot sitting at this table one day.
My kid might marry one.
Exactly. But like, it's just so like, I don't think we as humans, like back in the day when we were kids, bro, we imagined everything. I can do this, I can do that. And then you learn like, okay, I can't do this and I can't do that. But you learn along the way. But as a kid, your imagination, when you're drawing, coloring, building, playing, whatever it is, you make up scenarios. Like we used to play games making up scenarios about this makeshift life or thing that was going on at the moment. And then it was like, okay, we go and do something else. And so sometimes I feel like the older we get, the less we have that imagination, that creativity to just think the impossible can happen.
Oh, I think impossible can happen. But there's also the flip side of it where like people in the 80s thought we'd have flying cars. By 2000, it's now 2026. We ain't even close to a flying car. What? Where's a flying car at, bro?
You got to see what they're doing over in China, bro.
Ching chong. Ray said it was okay.
Ray did say it was okay.
But that was fucked up. I should not have said that. But yeah, the hoverboards, dude. It ain't the same as fucking Back to the Future's hoverboards. Where are they at? You mean tell me it's been this long? Somebody thought that up 50 years ago and we still ain't got that shit? I understand the concept. And I think the AI is going to be a lot easier. Whoever said like that they're not deep in the weeds, all you got to do is feed enough information on one topic and it's going to get in the weeds. But I don't know about Bryan Johnson, man. He just seems like, disclaimer, I don't think I've ever watched an interview with him. I can't. He just feels like he's going to be boring to me. And this is coming from someone who's never listened to him. He just feels like he's going to be a stick in the mud. And like he has to follow this regiment to a T. And he has all these things that he has to do or else he's taking fucking seconds off his life. And that doesn't seem like somebody I want to associate with.
I think you should give it a shot, especially because we're in the health and wellness space. And it's pretty interesting, the stuff that he talks about and the things that he says. Now, granted, I don't think I've implemented any of the things he does because I can. Like some of these machines and processes and stuff. But like I understand the concepts. Like he talks about his diet and like eating healthy and stuff like that. Okay, I can resonate.
What's his diet?
He has like 2 meals
Salamanders
a day.
And something?
No,
he feels like he has like translucent skin and he's I don't know, man. He fucking scares me.
I would check it out, but I think that his protocols, whether this sticks as a thing, I think that some of the stuff that he does is very good, but it's just like the iPhone when it first came out. Not everybody could afford it. iPhones were super expensive. Data plans were real expensive when iPhones first came out, and now everybody's got an iPhone or something like it.
They weren't $1 million.
I think that he's got the stuff that he is. I think he's ahead of time in terms of the technology, and I do think there will be biohacking things that become more readily available, whether it's hyperbaric chambers or red light therapy that he does, or even some of these other like stimulants for his muscles and tissues and all that.
But he does these every day.
Yeah.
How many hours in the day is spent biohacking?
I think it's somewhere around like 7 or 8.
That's insane, dude.
But like that incorporates like his workouts and like different things. So it's all encompassing. So biohacking to him is the whole entire system of it.
So what if you have a job? That's your whole day. 8 hours working.
He don't need
8
a
hours
job.
He doesn't. But if like this is something we're trying to implement to everyone, 8 hours working, 8 hours biohacking, 8 hours sleeping. What else? That's it? Is that living a life?
I don't know.
Does he take vacations?
He must.
Does he?
I mean,
does he take all this machinery with him?
I don't know how that works.
Bryan, come on the show, dude. I have questions for you. I'm going to ask you what people really want to know. Do you vacation? How much pussy are you pulling? What do you eat? How old are you actually? Is he married?
Yeah.
No fucking. What does she do? Does she follow his protocol, or is she like, fucking Bryan? He's crazy, dude. Oh shit.
I don't know.
Oh, Bryan, back in the chamber again. Oh shit. I'm like, I keep going in my head and I can't even get it out. Go ahead, dude.
Keep going.
No, I can't.
Bryan, how much pussy you get?
I am curious. I didn't think someone would marry him.
You know, they measure the length that he has an erection, like the time he does. Not like how long.
He's not only am I living longer, I'm getting longer.
Oh, he does talk about how he
biohacks his cock size.
Not the size of it, but the duration and the feelings and all that stuff.
What's the longest he's had a boner?
I don't know, but he compared it to his sons as well.
He has kids?
Yeah.
God, they gotta fucking hate that growing up.
They're into the life.
Now?
Yeah.
Nah, I think like if you grow up in it, it's like fucking Gary Brecka's kids are all like in the business, like honestly, dude, I'm talking so much shit. It's gonna be my kids. Gonna be like, my dad was measuring how long I had a boner today.
Man, he's like, it wasn't very long.
Oh shit. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's he doing with that data? There is too much data, bro. What does he need that for?
And that wraps it up full circle, folks.
I'm watching Bryan Johnson's documentary tonight.
You should. It again, it's interesting.
I'm gonna come to a run tomorrow with so much information.
You're gonna come?
We gotta get the fuck off this thing.
All right. If you haven't looked into Bryan Johnson, if you haven't watched the Ovans podcast with Ray, go and tune into those because one of them is very funny. The other one is very interesting, informative. Take it for what you will. But again, challenge your mind to think differently. Challenge your mind to act differently. You will see the side of how much data can be collected. We unfortunately have a limited amount of data compared to Bryan Johnson, but it does enough to get started. It does enough to get you aligned in the right direction. And if you don't know where to start, you know what to do. Follow people on social media. Reach out to us. There's so many ways to get started. just type in what you are struggling with, type in the changes you want into social media, and you'll be able to find those. But I think the most important thing is getting around people that are doing that, because they hold you accountable to it. And so get involved in a community, get involved with like-minded individuals, because they're going to help you establish those routines and habits and discipline that you need in life to be able to see the results. So that way the data that you are looking at is being implemented in the right way. That's all we got for y'all. Have the desire to inspire. Kiss yo mama, and we will talk to you next week. It's on.
Peace.